Hello and welcome to another candle review video. It's been a little while since my last review video. I apologise for that, I've been a bit busy. But I've got a few more spring and summer scents to review. These are from Yankee, from Root and from Goose Creek candles. But before we go into that, I would like to just show off basically this little accessory here I bought yesterday. As you can see, it's a hurricane lantern, but for dining candles. You don't usually find a lot of accessories for dining candles on the market. I think it's because dining candles are just a one-trick pony. I think people just buy them for the dining table, and once you start eating the meal and chatting, you ignore the candle, which is a shame because I think dining candles are really, really pretty. I think they don't need to just be used on dining tables. You could use them in sconces, in alcoves, in fireplaces. And now something like this, I just think really shows off. Your focus is drawn onto the candle and the long flame. That's what I love about dining candles. They always have a lovely long flame. It's such a simple design. It's just like a copper metal box with glass, and of course a little holder at the bottom to place the candle in. And I think works really well with these other lanterns, these other hurricane lanterns, which are available for tea lights and for pillar candles. So yeah, I think come autumn and winter, this will be going in a fireplace grouped with other candles. I think it will look really pretty. Of course, the other thing is you can use this outside, during the summer, or even early autumn, if you're going to have a meal outside in the evening, or perhaps maybe a picnic outside. I think this will look really pretty in the middle. And I say it means you can now use dining candles outside. I think on their own, they're a bit susceptible to a bit of breeze blowing the flame out, but now they're kind of enclosed in a box, this should be okay. So I'm looking forward to actually giving it a go outside and see if it works. Once again, I think I'd say it draws your eye to the dining candle. I love it. It's such a simple design. Another accessory I wanted to show you is one I bought from Yankee Candle on the American website last year. It was two of the black lanterns. I believe they're still available now. They are constantly on sale. I think Yankee must have had too many to sell at full price, and they've just reduced and tried to get rid of them. I've not got the actual black lantern anymore because, as you can see, I've doctored it into a more of a rusty, kind of old, dilapidated antique lantern. Like I said, they were available from Yankee. I think they still are. I think they're around about the $5 to $8 mark. I think when I bought them, they were a little bit more. I think maybe $10 each, and I bought two of them. I liked the black lantern, and I used it last year during autumn and winter, but when I was cleaning everything at the end of winter and replacing for the spring, I just looked at them and thought, actually, they're boring now. They were just a dull matte black, and it just didn't really excite me. So when I had on a rainy day and nothing much to do, I decided to have a little of a paint job. And this is the end result. I've given it a kind of a rustic look, used acrylic paints in oranges, browns, yellows and reds, and also found a piece of rusty metal just to use as, try to get the colours down of rust, and then just painted the lantern. And actually, it's actually quite easy to paint onto the lantern. The paint sticks very well. I also painted the glass to give it a kind of a scratched, dull, dirty look. So I'll just hold that up to the camera and you can see. I just think it gives it a different approach. It suddenly looks completely different to the black lantern that it originally was. And you don't have to do what I've done and make it rusty. You could maybe colour it a pastel colour, a lovely pastel blue or green. You could go all out for Christmas and paint it in, gold glitter paint and just have it really sparkle and shine. I think the opportunities are quite endless. So if you get a chance, definitely grab a couple and just have a go. I'd love to see your results. I'd love to have you to have a go and make your own thing and see how it turns out. The lanterns are quite tricky sometimes. The bottom can be a bit stiff, as is with this one. I've not really been able to fix it, but that's how you get the tea light out. It's quite simple. Just plug in and turn around so the little notches match into the holes. There we go. So it's quite simple. I think, as I said, for the price, I think it's a win-win. You know, you get the black lantern, and then if you get bored of it, you can paint it up. Perfect. So I'll now move on to the candles. The first, once again, is Yankee Candle. And I got a small jar of Oceanside. Now, I bought this early on in the year. I think it was a sale. I can't remember now if it was 4 for 20 or something like that. But I wanted to stock up on spring and summer scents. And I like the small jars because they work well in bedrooms and small spaces. So I bought Oceanside. I bought it blind. I've not ever smelt Oceanside. Funnily enough, I think it has now appeared in the UK as a treasure. But up until that point, I've never smelled it, never had any votives. And I just assumed it would be kind of like a salty sea air kind of smell. And was very much surprised to find it isn't. It's quite a musky smell. There's a hint of floral in there. I'm not quite sure which it is, but it's, you know, I think it's kind of a tropical floral smell. But it's definitely musky. There's the vaguest hint of sea air, but it's definitely not a strong predominant note. There's vanilla in there as well. Kind of like, there's kind of undertones of suntan lotion, I think, as well. There's definitely that smell of suntan lotion. So it's a perfect summer smell, and I said it really took me by surprise because I was expecting this lovely fresh, salty sea air smell, and it's actually it's still kind of fresh, but because it's musky, there's more warmth to it. It's not so bracing. So I actually would possibly get this in a large jar. I wouldn't usually bother with spring and summer candles because I don't burn them so much, but this one really surprised me. And it's absolutely swimming in oils. I don't know if you can see, but a lot of oils have come to the top, and there's still quite a few of oil at the bottom. So yeah, quite a lovely, unique smell. Very, very reminiscent of the seaside, but not your typical seaside candle. The next candle was from Root, Village Herb Shop. Now, Root candles are available in both the UK and the US. They are a US company. But I believe that all the fragrances which are available in the US are also available in the UK, so it's fantastic. You know, we can, for once, we're on even keel with the Americans. I bought this one. We sell Root candles where I work, but we didn't have Village Herb Shop. And I really like herb scents. I love the earthiness to them. So I thought I'd give this a go. I only received it yesterday, and I've been burning it this morning to try and get a good sense of what it smells like. On cold, there's very strong hints of basil and oregano. Definitely basil that really comes through, and there's also an earthiness as well to it, almost actually like dirt, like picking a hand of soil and sniffing it. There's a very earthy, rich, deep smell to that, which might put some people off. I like natural smells, so it was perfect for me. But if you're someone who's used to sweet and florally, fruity smells, you might not be so keen on this. When burning it, it was basically, it replicated the cold sniff. It was very, very deep, very herby. There was also a slight nuttiness that came through. Which kind of surprised me, but it really blended in with the herb notes. It was very lovely. Root candles do burn quite well on their own. They don't really need a lot of assistance. I mean, I burnt this one for about 4 hours this morning. You don't need any lids. You don't need to wrap it up. They do burn quite well on their own. It's beeswax, and beeswax candles usually do perform fantastically on their own. I can't stop sniffing it. It's such a lovely deep, rich, herbal, earthy scent. And if that sounds like your cup of tea, then I would definitely give this one a go. I also bought a couple of other root candles in parsley and peppers. Once again, that just sounded quite a unique smell. And I also got Crisp Autumn, which was my first ever root candle I bought a couple of years ago in a little travel tin. They do these in big jars, small jars, travel tins, tea lights, votives, all different sorts. So yeah, I'm quite impressed with Root. I definitely will give them another go. Hopefully the parsley and peppers and the Crisp Autumn perform well. But this threw very well. It filled my living room up and beyond. As I was coming down the stairs to the living room, I could start to smell it. And the last candle is Goose Creek. This is peanut butter sugar. Now, I will explain my relationship with Goose Creek. It's been a bit of a hit and miss one. I discovered them last autumn and I bought a few candles. I bought some jar candles and I bought some tumbler candles. I think the jar candles I got were Kentucky Harvest and I think it was called Cabin in the Woods. And they're 2 wicks. But the problem I found with the jar candles is they have a very strong initial impact. They smell gorgeous and filled the room. But after an hour or two, I kind of lost that scent. I couldn't really smell it anymore. I had to keep going out the room and coming back in, and then I'd get that hit again. But then after a few minutes, I couldn't really smell it again, and it was quite disappointing. I've still got those jars, and I'm gonna try again with them this year and hope that they perform a little bit better. Maybe they've had a year to mature. But the tumblers have performed really well for me. I've only tried a couple. One which I could really recommend is Auburn Lake. That just threw really spectacularly well. It filled the living room and beyond. The residual wax that was left over when I'd finished with the candle, I popped in a tart burner and that carried on, and it lasted for a good 10 to 12 burns, which really quite surprised me. But back to this one. This is peanut butter sugar. This was raved about online, and I don't usually go for foodie smells, but I do love peanut butter, as a food, and I thought, why not? Give it a go. It says peanut butter sugar, but the label shows ice cream, so I'm assuming it's supposed to be more of an ice cream scented candle as opposed to actual peanut butter as in the spread. It smells gorgeous. It's sweet but also savoury. You get the sweetness of ice cream and ice cream cones, but there's a savouriness. It's almost like salted peanuts. Really, really lovely. I burnt this and it once again threw spectacularly well. I would love Goose Creek to do more of the scented tumblers. They only do usually a select few. They don't do the whole range in tumblers, and it's a shame because I think I would become more of a customer if they'd done their candles in the tumblers. I said I'm a little bit disappointed with the jars. I'm going to go back to the 2 I've got. I'm really going to hope that they work. But yeah, give this one a go. Like I said, I'm not a foodie and I really love this. So you might too. It's really it's kind of hard to describe, but the best way I can do it is say it is sweet and also savoury. There's definitely like a saltiness to it, which I really, really like. That's all my candles for now. I will hope to do a review soon, possibly of some transitional candles that can go from late summer into early autumn. You can get a bit of a blend, fruity candles, harvest-inspired candles. So I hope you will join me then. Thank you very much, and happy candle burning. Bye-bye.